Oilers are 60 minutes, one game. Away from engraving their names on the Stanley Cup for the second straight year. Standing in their way, a bunch of Philadelphia Flyers who are trying to deny and remove from their minds the celebrations that the city of Edmonton has planned. That's right, there are already celebrations and parties planned for tonight, including the entire convention center at $10 a piece. It's sold out for tonight. Tremendous pressure on the Edmonton Oilers then not to disappoint their fans. Working with us on USA again tonight is Mike Liut, the goaltender for the Hartford Whalers. And Mike, this puts a very strange atmosphere into the game, a must performance for the Oilers.
It certainly does, Al. And the reason that is because it's a distraction. And the Edmonton Oilers at this point do not need any more distractions. And the pressure's there, and they have to play without thinking about this being the final game for them.
Now, one of the important things from a Philadelphia standpoint, we must go back to the Quebec series to point that out. Quebec checked Pelle Lindbergh in front of the Philadelphia net in Game 5 of that series, and Pelle received a knee injury. It became gradually more severe, and Pelle will not be able to play tonight. Bob Froese then will be given the hot seat for the Flyers, and how does that change things?
Well, it changes things from this standpoint that the Edmonton Oilers really haven't had to face Froese from the beginning, and vice versa, and that could be tough on Bob. If Philadelphia allows him to break into the game gently, not allowing Edmonton to pass the puck at will in front of him and creating that very difficult situation for a goaltender, then I think that he can be the key to this game, and he has that ability to come up big for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Well, charting the progress of Bob Froese, the Flyers, and the Oilers tonight will be Al Albert. Al?
And Al, only one time in the history of the Stanley Cup Finals has a team come back from a 3-1 deficit, and that was 43 years ago. The Flyers must win 3 in a row. It is an awesome task, but they cannot think of it that way. When they arrived here at Edmonton, their objective was to win at least one game, so they would send the series back to Philadelphia. And Gary Green, that still can happen.
Al, it's very possible. These Flyers are too good of a hockey club, really, to just turtle. They're not about to do that. Yes, they're injured, but they've got Bobby Froese in net tonight, and he's capable of being hot. The other thing, I think that's going against them to a lot of extent, that is the Edmonton Oilers, are these fans. They have totally wrapped up this series, and that has put some fear into some of the Edmonton Oilers players that I talked to just before the game. First of all, the fear that they may get lynched if they don't win this game when these fans can't party, but the main thing is that they have a lot of respect for this Philadelphia team yet, and they don't want to go back to Philadelphia for the next couple of games.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers could be 60 minutes away from winning the Stanley Cup, but the Philadelphia Flyers are hoping that they're too anxious, too excited in front of this expectant crowd, and they're hoping that in 60 minutes of playing time, these Edmonton Oilers, instead of starting their vacation, Al, are on the phone making their airplane and hotel reservations to Philadelphia this weekend.
Now, you'd really think it would be a natural feeling to feel envy, to be a member of the Edmonton Oilers on a night when they play at home and on the verge of clinching the Stanley Cup. But I really don't feel envy for a team that could disappoint a city of almost 500,000 people, and they could do that by losing tonight. So it should be interesting. Game 5 of the 1985 Stanley Cup Championship coming up next on USA Sports in a moment.
It is Bedlam in the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Alberta. The crowd has been standing for the last minute as the Edmonton Oilers, just one win away from their second consecutive Stanley Cup, have taken the ice along with the Philadelphia Flyers in game number 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And as we await the singing of the national anthem in O Canada, we point out Bobby Froese is in net, Pelle Lindbergh is injured, and also we're kind of disappointed Tim Kerr is not playing tonight. He has been having a problem with a bad knee, but we figured in this type of a situation that he might be dressed even for spot duty on the power play.
Well, I thought they would dress him just to put him in front of that net for that power play. They could use it. Their power play has been bad.
And there are the Oilers, a team that during the regular season fell behind the Philadelphia Flyers for the best record in the NHL. So trying to avenge that as the crowd continues to stand as recording star Larry Gatlin now moves into the spotlight, and he will be singing the Star-Spangled Banner and O Canada.
And join us in welcoming, as he sings the American National Anthem, Larry Gatlin.
Oh, say, can you see by by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in